Hey guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and welcome to my craft room. I have finished the third, the last, the final quilt top for Daniel's memory t-shirts. This one is going to little Hunter. He's 5 or 6. I believe he just graduated from kindergarten this year. He's the only boy so far. Now he's the one that wanted all his quilts just to be made out of the t-shirts. So what I did is I found the Scooby-Doo happened to be the tallest at 15 inches. So I just had to add a little border to bring him. He was like 13.75 on width. Like I said, I'm working with t-shirts that were already cut and had the stabilizer put on the back before I ever got them. So as you can see, I just took some of the leftover t-shirt, add fusible to it, and then cut it into whatever width strip I needed to bring all of these up to 15 inches. This was one of the smallest ones. I think that was a 12 by 12. But then I didn't have enough t-shirts to make the quilt. Now as you notice, this one at 15 at 4 by 4 is a really large one, but I'm taking my measurements off of the back of the quilt. So whatever those were, and with this furry carpet type that he's using, really like a bearskin fuzzy one, it's a bit wider than the other two materials I had to work with, so his is just going to be a bit longer like this. I guess I probably could have gone 3 by 5 or something, but it just worked out fine, and it's being a memory quilt for the kids. They're just going to love it. Then I went ahead and I just cut 8-inch squares out of all the backs of the t-shirts that I had that were not like straight up black, and cut them all, stitched them all together, and then trimmed them down to 15 inches. Stitched it all together, and there you go. Now you see the final quilt top. Once again, I'm going to do the stitch the front to the back, flip them right side out, stitch all the way around just to hold them together, and then tie them. And then I'll finally be able to move on to some new projects, because since this is from a paying customer, I feel obligated that you really need to get these done in a short amount of time. I know Angel doesn't care. She would have waited as long as it took me to make them, but I didn't want them hanging over my head. I'd rather just buckle down, get them done, and then get them out of my house. So now you're going to see my fourth wall. I am working in my youngest son's bedroom, his old bedroom since he moved out. It's a 10 by 10 room. And this one, yeah, you know, I'm not a very neat person when it comes to crafting. I need a lot more work with organization. I need some more containers and shelves and storage like that. I think this room needs some more shelves or something. Behind this is a closet. It used to have sliding glass doors that you can only slide them and open up half the closet at a time. Robbie's had this room since he was 3 until he was 18. There's no way a sliding glass door is going to work good with a toddler, or with even as he gets older. You can't get into the whole closet, and you can only put things in there that is wide as one door's width. So we took those out. Didn't bother putting curtains up for anything like that for him. So this is just an open closet. I have a little shelf work in there, but I still have a lot of Robbie's old things here that he didn't take with him, but things that you don't want to get rid of, like remote control cars and those robotic dogs and dinosaurs that were really big at one point. But anyway, so there is Hunter's quilt, and this is the last wall of my craft room. What you're looking at right here, these are all of my project bags that I have projects in right now, and I just had this shoe thing that came with this house, and it was supposed to get as part of one of those closet organizational systems. I don't know, it was laying on the floor when I got it, so I decided that I would just hang it upside down here, or however it is, and I just hang all my project bags from it. So I can easily find them. They're not stacked up or dumped around or all over the house. They're in one spot. Over here is where you've seen the fabric before. This is the actual desktop computer. As you can tell, I obviously don't use it very often. I'd rather use just a little laptop or a tablet. This is my crafting fairy that was sent to me. I received her from a swap when I was doing swaps years ago. I haven't done swaps in a long time, but I like to keep her over there, and I have to keep her in a spot where the cats can't get her because they like to eat her. Once again, I have to keep my shoes up off the floor too because the cats like to eat shoelaces. Now I keep this room closed so they can't get in here when I'm not in here, but if I'm over here sewing, I'm not going to really notice the cats chewing on my shoelaces until they've chewed through them. This is actually the sewing machine that I learned on. This is one of those old Singers that drop down into the cabinet. It's an electric one. I don't know. It's older than 1969. I can tell you that much. My stepmother had it at her house for many years before I actually got a hold of it again. It needs to be cleaned. It needs a new belt. It needs to be oiled and all kinds of maintenance. So right now it is just sitting there and looking pretty because it's my grandma's and I loved her. So that's it on the t-shirt quilts. The next time you see these, I will be showing you how I decide to tie them. Hopefully I'll be able to mush it through the sewing machine after I do when I sew them to the backs to it and everything. That's going to be hassle enough as it is. But everything will work out fine. It just takes a little bit of extra work, that's all. Well, thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me in my craft room, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.